Welcome back to Henry's Garage. In this episode we get the timing sorted. Good stuff. We put the head is all torqued down, so the head is torqued down, the timing is working, it turns nicely, all good. And then I did something really stupid. And so I'm stopping now. So welcome back to Henry's Garage. Forgot to say that. I'm really wound up. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and when you get to the end and you see what I did, I would like your thoughts about how I fix it. Thanks. Alright, see you next time. Right, so I have here arrived the bolts and washers for the head, the tensioner, and this is for the fuel pump, the spacer. I've also got over here, this is a new head gasket, so this is an extra thick one. Here these are, or should be, all the gaskets for the lower half of the engine, so the sump, the timing, the I can't remember what the other side's called. And in here I've got a bunch of gaskets for the top, so for the water, the distributor, all of that. So I should now have everything to put it back together. Before I do that, I did over the weekend, and I've decided not to do a video on it, I did take a look at the distributor. And if you'll remember, I did manage to crack it when I'm getting it out. So I have glued that base there. You can see there where I've glued it. And that seems fairly strong and smooth, so I think that'll be okay. I did try taking it apart, but I couldn't get it all out. So I managed to get the contacts off and things like that. But I couldn't effectively pull this lot out. Well, I'm looking at it and not showing it. I couldn't, this mechanical advance or retard, I couldn't work out how to get it off. I was trying to get the vacuum off so that I could clean it up and stuff, and there's a screw here, but I just couldn't get at it. So I decided to just use bus converter on it, and I painted it onto the vacuum just to give it a bit of, and then painted it. And the reason for that is we're going to try to video. I'm just going to put you on a stand. Okay, right back. And so the one thing I wanted to just show you is, in terms of making sure, I wanted to make sure it worked still. So if we suck on this, we can see that the vacuum is working along here, so that's good. We've got our wire coming through here, everything is safe. So I'm just going to put the rotor back on, and then call that okay to go. Can we see closely, where I cracked it? Okay, but that all seems okay, I think. It's not, this bit shouldn't be getting really, the only pressure on here is from the spinning of the distributor. It's not from, most of the force should be taken here where it's bolted on, so I think that should be okay. So I'm just going to tidy that up, and then we're going to start by replacing the head gasket. We'll then set the timing again, we'll bolt the head down properly, and we'll see how we are. Right, I realised I missed some of taking that off, but I got it back to top dead centre. I didn't want to do that. Now we're going to have a bit of fiddling getting this back to top dead, getting everything lined up again now, but basically we're at top dead centre. The timing might have moved now because of that, what I just did. But I'd loosened off, I had to loosen off these bolts here, particularly this one, in order to pull the head off to keep this loose so that I can move it a bit. So we're going to have some adjustment, but we'll make sure that this is lined up. We'll make sure that this is lined up. I'll stall off by a bit there, but we can do that afterwards. So this is a top dead centre. So you saw me take the head off. We're going to put the new head on first, and we'll put this on and make sure everything is still working. We'll get the timing right, make sure everything's working before we torque it down. Then we'll try torquing the head down and making sure everything still turns. And if that works, we'll put on the timing cover and stuff like that. Okay, so here's the new head gasket. It looks the same as the other one. It should just be bigger, so I'm not going to bother to measure it and make sure, because I'll just be pissed off if it's not. We'll just put this on, put the head back on and go from there. Right, timing's all set up. This is pointing in the right place. This is perfectly lined up. This is correctly lined up. We've got the new tensioner in. Alright, I haven't torqued it down yet. I haven't changed any of the valve clearances or anything, so that was all as before. So I'm just going to go around and make sure it's not catching in on anything. We still have top dead centre, everything lined up. I know that goes around 3 times, that one's right, so let's... Good. Right, so that's all lined up. So still not got a lot of this stuff timed down, so this probably needs tightening up a bit, because we had a problem with that before. So we'll put the bolts back in here, make sure that's all okay, and then we'll get all of our bolts in here and we'll torque the head down, and then we'll test it again. Right, this isn't tight yet. It's not torqued, but I've just put these bolts on, so everything is now down, so it won't, move, but it doesn't have the torque to really hold it in place. But it just means I know it's flat to the ground or to the block, and so I can actually test again that I've got no interference. Okay, so we're now going to torque these down. Okay, so these should be torqued to 75 Newton meters. So we'll do it in a couple of stages. Maybe starting at 40 first. And now we're going up to 60. And now we're going up to 75. Right, and now we're going to try turning this again, and I do hope it all works still. And 3 times, and everything lines up perfectly. Amazing. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get the this back on here. Alright, and then we'll torque down the bolts in there, in the timing area. Right, I can't find a torque for this. Timing chain support brackets and guides, it'd be these ones. Timing chain cover bolts will be the ones out here. Some bolt inlet manifold, flywheel to crankshaft. No, I can't find anything. So I'm just going to do it snug. Well, maybe a bit more than snug, but in fact, we won't do it straight away because we need to get the other one on as well. And I know from experience last time, it came out too tight. Right, so these are all 27. This one I've clearly done the tab overs, I've done already. These, the timing tensioner I couldn't find anything for, so we're going to just do them tight. I don't want to over tighten, so we'll go with that. What next? So that's all done. let's just cover this all up so that it's covered. Now I do have a new cork gasket, but it seems shame not to use the silicone one if I have one. Okay, so we'll flip the engine over now. We'll put on the oil pump and the sump. Okay, so I watch Ellen Yakov's Rusty Beauties. He is one of the reasons I decided to have a go at doing this stuff myself, because he makes it look so easy. Anyway, so he always puts some gasket maker on, and so I thought I would do the same. I haven't used this before. It came looking this mess, but there we are. So we're going to start with the water, the oil. Oil pump to cylinder block 27. So we'll go straight to 27, I think. Okay, I'm not going to pretend that's not worrying me, that it's still turning. This is set at 15. Okay, good. Fine. So that's got to 20. Fuck me. That's broken off inside the block. Of course, that's not the oil pump. Damn it. Well, let's end this extremely exciting episode here. Oh man. And we'll come back to... I'm not going to do it today because I'm irritated now. I'm going to have to cover all of this up, and right, as you can see, just here it's snapped off. Okay, so I do have some room there. And you can see I've got a little bit. So I'm going to have to somehow get that out. I'm not going to do it today. I think what I'll end up having to do is I'll cover all of this somehow, and then I'll try taking Well, I'll see what people say, but I'm thinking about trying to do a cut across to undo it with a screwdriver. Don't fancy it though. So easy to make a mess. I can't believe I did that. My God, man. Things were going so well. So, yeah, so I'm going to stop. I'm going to have a think. I'm going to see what people say. And I'll go from there. But I said as I was doing it, I'm worried I'm over tightening. And it's my fault for misreading what it said to do. Okay, I'm just going to stop here. There's nothing to be done for it. I'm just going to get wound up if I try to do anything further. I can't believe I've been so amazingly dumb. Sorry, I'm busy looking at it down here. Just appalled with myself. So I'm going to tidy up in here. I'm going to stop and we'll come back to it another day.